I wanted to start off this quick little segment by saying that words are powerful. Words are extremely powerful. And I want to give you a little background story to illustrate the whole point that words are powerful. Now, in 1983, prior to the catastrophic events that took place on October 19th, there was a so-called crisis in the then PRG government. And there were many attempts to try to resolve that crisis with many meetings. And there was a meeting held, apparently it was held, I think it might have been in Butler House region. And they were trying to discuss how do we resolve this crisis and move forward as a government. It is alleged that during one of those meetings, that a certain gentleman who was a major at the time, being frustrated with the progress of the meeting and being frustrated with the results towards coming to some sort of conclusion to the crisis, walked into the meeting, pulled out a Makarov, and for those who are not familiar with the terminology, a Makarov is a Russian-made pistol. Pull out his side Makarov, slammed it down on the table, and said, "We better come to some sort of resolution or else we are going to have an Afghan solution." Interestingly enough, I would like to believe that the gentleman, when he uttered those words, did not foresee that on October 19th, we would have had one of the most devastating events in the history of Grenada. And that goes back to what I started off by saying, that words are powerful. So when we are in positions of power, there's a certain level of responsibility that comes with it. And I want you guys to understand that is on both sides of the aisles. Now, to give you a little background about what he was saying about the Afghan solution for, you history buffs and stuff like that, would understand that in 1978, there was also a crisis in the Communist Party in Afghanistan, where certain members of the party thought that the then president was actually allying himself with the petty bourgeoisie and forsaking the working man. So they had an Afghan solution, which I'm sure you can only imagine what happened to then President Khan. So that is what the major that I just mentioned was talking about when he says, look, we better come to a conclusion and get this resolved or else we'll have an Afghan solution. And again, he uttered those words way before October 19th, 1983. And ultimately, we know the conclusion of those events. So when we say that people in the opposition are lucky that they are not treated a certain way that they are treated in other countries because of mistakes made during their term of office, then we have to understand that those statements, seemingly innocent, could have far-reaching consequences. Some people may say it comes across as a sort of dog whistle and may encourage people to do certain things. On the other hand, the response to what was said was equally problematic. Because then, of course, there was, someone who had an unfortunate incident being drawn into it. And we may say, oh, well, it was just, semantics. And, oh, it wasn't that serious. It was comedic. But some people, again, may take it serious and sort of run with the implications of what was said. So I say all this again to say that in the annals of politics, there's a certain level of responsibility that comes with the office and the power that the office affords on both sides of the aisle. Let me be clear.